Greetings, Doc John here, and I am the Entreprofessor. Welcome to the second video in this series called The Entrepreneurial Athlete. This series is for collegiate athletes who are now thinking about how they can get the most out of their name, image, and likeness, now that the NCAA is allowing them to make money on their N.I.L. Your N.I.L needs a B.M.C. N.I.L, of course, is name, image, and likeness, and B.M.C is business model canvas. This is one of the best frameworks in the toolbox of any entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneurial athlete, it's a great way to help clarify your business model and how you're going to get the most out of your name, image, and likeness from a revenue perspective, and to establish, build, and promote your personal brand. You may be thinking that I'm not a business person and I'm not sure about this whole idea of a business model canvas, but that's actually why this tool is good for you, because the business model canvas is very simple to use and it allows you to really clarify what's important about a business without having a strong or even any business background. So let's dive into it. I'm going to use a business model canvas template that's created by a company called strategizer.com. There are lots of different business model canvas templates, but this one is very widely used. And if you go to their website, there's tons of free information about how to use it. I'll put that link in the notes below. When you look at the boxes on the right-hand side of the business model canvas, you're seeing the pieces that really relate to defining who you are, who you serve, and your value, and ultimately how you make money as a business. On the left-hand side, you can look at all the operations, the activities, partnerships, and resources you need to have, and their associated costs. Together, these fill out the picture of what your business is. For your N.I.L, name, image, and likeness, it's really helping to define what it is that's going to be valuable about it and how you're going to accelerate that value and get the most out of that value. The first two boxes, and perhaps the most important two boxes to look at on the business model canvas, are the customer segment box and the value proposition. The customer segments define in very clear terms who your audience is, who are your fans that you want to reach, and what is it that they are seeking to gain from having a connection to your name, image, and likeness. That takes us to the value proposition. The value proposition is talking about or helping you to define what value each customer segment gains from that connection. So it may be a psychological benefit of feeling like they're part of an elite community. It might be a skill development opportunity or value to them, that they want to learn a particular skill and learn to perform a particular skill in a way that will help them to be a better athlete on the field or track or in the pool as well. Some of the other boxes on the right-hand side that are important are the channels. How are you going to reach these fans and how are you going to connect with them? And what's your relationship going to be with them? How are you going to interact with them? What kind of presence are you going to have in their world? Together, these help you to formulate your opportunities to monetize your business model, monetize your name, image, and likeness, and that's revenue streams. When you look at the left-hand side of the canvas, you're thinking about what are the activities you need to do and the resources and infrastructure you need to have to be able to facilitate the revenue streams that are described on the right-hand side. And each of these are going to have costs associated with them, so that helps you to determine what kind of investment you need to have in terms of time, money, resources in order to really maximize your name, image, likeness. Possibly the most important box on this side of the canvas are key activities. What are the things that you need to do in order to establish, promote, and advance your brand and your name as it's associated with the things that you envision for yourself? So these key activities could be anything from recording free online content or creating paid online courses. Key resources are the things that you possess that add value. One of the things that really advances the value of your name, image, and likeness is your performance on the field, on the track, in the pool, or whatever your sport is. Your record and your performance and the way that fans perceive you when you are operating within your sport, these will be key resources for you. And these are the things that make your name, image, and likeness valuable. Key partners are any of the people or organizations you interact with which help you to increase the reach of your brand or the value of your brand. This could be anything from the sports apparel and equipment companies who cater to your sport and may act as sponsors or at least promoters of your name and brand. This could be the news agencies and the sports reporting agencies that talk about your sport and report on your sport. It could also be your agent or business advisors, those individuals who help you to find the opportunities that allow you to activate this business model. Each of these things come with costs in terms of your time, your attention, perhaps invested money and funds. There may also be fees or royalties involved in any of these components of your business model. So these comprise the cost side of your model. Anything that you have to pay to get set up, your production costs, any royalties or fees that you need to pay, these represent the cost side of your business model. Like any business, you want to ensure that the revenue streams exceed the costs to ensure that your business model is profitable. So let's take a look at a few possible examples. And of course, these are only meant for illustration purposes, and it will be very important to confirm the rules of NCAA and your school align with the types of business activities that you pursue. One example you could consider would be emerging youth athletes. Those athletes that are young but pursuing your sport, and really look up to those who have become elite athletes in that sport at the collegiate level. Their value proposition may be to see themselves as high performers in the sport, just like you. Some of the channels you might use to connect with these fans are social media platforms like YouTube or TikTok. May also be through youth programs that have newsletters or other content where you could do interviews and make a personal connection with these fans, fueling both the value of your brand and your N.I.L, but also encouraging those to follow you on your various channels and to engage with you as well. The relationship you have with this group may be very low touch. You may never actually talk with them or interact with them, but you may interact to some degree through social media, or it may just be that your presence allows them to feel like they have a personal connection with you. Ultimately, this type of channel and the monetization model may have to do with your ability to generate a lot of followers and the revenue and the royalty streams that come from the social media channels as such. In this case, a key activity would be creating that content for social media platforms that will be appealing and that will draw individuals to follow you. So that followership then can be used either to drive those social media channels or even to create paid content in some form or another. Key resources, of course, is your record in the sport. Your N.I.L and the value of your name, image, likeness increases as your performance record increases and as you achieve notoriety in your sport. Key partners may be producers of athletic gear and apparel in your sport that want to use your name to promote their product or demonstrate the use of their products on the field, the court, in the pool, through your activity and your performance in the sport. Other key partners may include the agents or business managers or business advisors who help you to make the right connections in your sport through promoters, through for paid advertising, or any way that you have the ability to monetize and leverage your N.I.L. As we discussed earlier, the production costs of this content, the platform hosting fees, or other royalties or costs like these would make up the cost structure of this part of the business model. Your business model can also have different customer segments or different stakeholders in the same process. We mentioned the example of youth athletes, emerging youth athletes. Another customer segment would be the parents of these youth athletes. They want to help their young athlete to excel and to be effective in the sport. So they're going to be thinking in terms of family pride, and they're going to be thinking of connection to their kids and the sport that they're interested in. And so this can be a situation where a good revenue stream would be connecting to these parents and promoting paid online content. It may be that the youth athlete is following lots of free content, but wants to dig deeper into skills that you can provide and insights that you can provide in the sport through online training or paid content, or even camps or in-person experiences that help them to advance in their sport. These parents could be very responsive and very interested in these types of services for their youth athlete. Another example could be peer athletes, those that compete in your sport, even compete against you, who may want to increase their affiliation with the top performers in the sport, such as yourself, or maybe even gain insights. And of course, you don't want to share all your secrets, but ultimately training wins. So this can be a way to advance your brand just by the affiliation with others in your sports, even if they're not teammates, but even competitors, and in a sense, accelerate each other's brand. One additional example I'll suggest is social impact organizations. And their value prop would really be to draw on your celebrity and your performance record to be able to draw awareness to their organization and their cause and to have that connection. So this is where the key activity could be volunteerism and activism, where your activities are not only enhancing your own brand, but promoting a cause that you feel connected to. And in this way, you're bringing this value to these types of organizations. So there you have a quick primer on the business model canvas and how you can use it to really consider ways you can add value using your NIL, your name, image, likeness, and to capitalize that on ways that can generate revenue for you and also draw attention and promote causes that you care about. I hope this has been useful. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these. I do expect to bring out several more in this series on the entrepreneurial athlete, and I look forward to your comments below and just ideas that you have of ways to get the most out of your name, image, and likeness now that you can generate revenue with it. So as I say to all entrepreneurs, to all of those of you who are entrepreneurial athletes in your sport and in your entrepreneurial ventures, keep going.